told me how his day was. Okay, now I understand. Had I ran in there, I'd have probably made the situation much worse than what it was. So women, we should know when to approach and when not to. Now, and see, sometimes we think the men get out, and no, he needs to know how to approach you too.
That's true.
I can call him on the phone. Baby, you okay? You hear it in my voice. Yeah, I'm fine. What's wrong? He can hear it. You know what I'm saying? My mother can hear it. You know, you've heard it.
You can be in
like,
tune.
okay, what's wrong with my sister? So we got it. Here we go. So you need to know your partner. A lot of times you're getting married, you don't take time out to find out who they are,
what
they've
they like,
done, even what they did in school. Honey, I got this man's resume. Yes, I did. I wanted to know, and he got mine. He looked at my books, and okay, this is what you did in school. We showed it. Well, I want you to know what you're getting into. Because at the end of the day, when we get married, children are going to come, and they're a mixture of me and you.
That's true.
Stop trying to blame the bad part on your spouse. Some of that is you and that child. Come on now.
That's where we fail to get to know one another.
That's it.
Right.
Before we jump into bed.
Ooh.
Let's be real.
He said, keep it 100.
Let's keep it 100.
Keep it.
And then it gets distorted.
Yeah,
And then once it gets
I'm getting my
distorted,
feeling of what we just
now feelings is so, and feelings can deceive you.
Yes, they can.
You can make
The
you
Bible
think
says
that
the heart is
you can
deceitfully
make that
wicked.
thing. You thought that was love.
That wasn't love.
That wasn't love.
That was them 3 minutes of
That was
pleasure. I said
and my
three.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
What you was going to say that? I'm sorry.
Something else that's lost in marriage a lot of time is friendship.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's where understanding your spouse comes from, when you were able to develop
You're telling the truth.
the friendship and the understanding of their mannerisms and behavior. Just sometimes, like you said, sometimes just a look on the face or that unspoken word.
Right.
Right, can tell a whole story.
Just like your mother, you could look at you, she could squint her eyes, you knew you was in trouble. You knew when you got home, right, got in the car, you was going to catch this beat down. My husband could look and I'm like, oh, okay, it's like that. I guess we need to talk when we get in the car or something. And watch this. And don't try to put your husband or spouse on blast. Facebook, Twitter, anything else.
Oh, that's
so wrong.
That's disrespectful.
It is disrespectful. And then you wonder why he don't come home, why he calling other women, sneaking and texting. And that's a whole different show.
Yes.
Now, this is supposed to be the honeymoon or the battlefield.
Yes.
So we're going to have to talk about some stuff that causes battles.
Yes. Even when you're in love.
Even when you're in love.
And when you committed.
So have you all had any battles?
We call it heated fellowship.
Oh, that heated fellowship.
Heated fellowship.
We argued. I don't know. We had an argument. I don't know what they fellowship was about. We were
Heated.
The bottom of it was a disagreement.
Right.
Yeah.
And that disagreement led sometimes to slightly elevated vocations.
Vocabulary. The inflection of my voice.
Yes.
So how do we deal with that, especially as Christian couples, especially in ministry? How do we deal with that? How does that look? Because sometimes I can't run and slam the door and then go preach a message. God ain't gonna hear me. You ain't saying that. And watch this. I got to go get it right with Him before I can even go to God. Now, what if? So we're actually going to deal with the couples that are not in church. We're praying that you get in church, but those that are not saved yet, they got to know how to talk to each other.
Yes.
So I mentioned the 5 love languages, and if you don't have that book and you're getting ready to get married, I advise you to go get it before you get married. And then even if you are married, still go get the book, because you got to understand your spouse's love language. And then there's another one dealing with your apologetic language or your apology language. So how do you say I'm sorry? Because I hear I'm sorry different than he hears I'm sorry. And so we had to figure that out. So watch this. I'm going to tell you about a heated battle.
Okay.
And that was this infamous fight or argument we had over dishes. You ain't saying
Dishes.
washing dishes. Oh my God.
Dishes.
Yes, we did. Oh Lord. Thank you. We can look back and laugh now, but that day I was not laughing. I had a moment. I did. And so here we go. I said the rule in the house has always been whoever cooks don't have to do the dishes.
Okay.
That makes sure both of us is doing an active part.
Yes.
Right? So I cooked. I said, baby, you going to do the dishes? He said, sure. Okay, we sat on the couch and we kept watching TV. Now I'm looking at the clock. Because he ain't got up and it's getting late. And watch this. And I'm sitting there, I'm getting hotter and hotter going, when he gonna get up?
Oh.
So I said, baby, you gonna do the dishes? Yeah, I'm gonna do them. Now the time getting late. We gotta go to bed. And I just went completely off. Why you ain't gonna do the dishes? I cooked it. He looked at me like, what is wrong with you? We had to discover, listen to this, we had to discover that, go all the way back to our childhood when we was at home, to find out that when my mother said do the dishes, she meant right now.
Oh, okay.
When his mother said do the dishes, it wasn't a right now thing. And after we'd had that discussion, I said, okay, he's gonna do the dishes. And then I had to compromise. It's not gonna be right now. Woo, sweater was getting tight. I was like, oh Lord, help me. And he washed the dishes. He did, but it just not
When you
wasn't-
wanted to.
exactly wasn't right then and there. And I'm looking at the clock. Baby, what's wrong? Nothing. Biting down, nothing.
If he do them at 12 midnight.
No, no.
You know, my idea at the time is, okay, wash the dishes. I know there's a task that needs to happen, but why interrupt what I'm doing right now?
Now,
Yes.
Okay, but you were sitting on the couch doing nothing. I'm over it. Look.
That was your opinion at the time.
Father, in the name of
Bless him, Lord, right now.
And that's true.
And I think we had more heated debates and things when we first came together. I think
Yes.
as we grew and matured more and
Yeah.
and knew and,
That was
and
a
learned
good-
to
that was a
know
good
each other,
argument, yeah.
now we kind of just flow. We kind of know each other. We know each other very well.
Right.
But I think when we first came together, it was kind of because she was that type. Can you do this? And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm like, my man, sit down, you know, and do what I do, you know, and I see it, boy, she get that girl, because she was used to her dad, you know, when she called, dad come running.
Right.
Well, you know,
She was sort of spoiled, but nevertheless.
yeah, you know, and so when she would tell me to do something, you know, you gonna do it, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, you know.
So y'all brothers is what I'm hearing.
But what we came to the conclusion
of the matter.
is that when we communicate, my time wasn't like his time.
There had to
And
be some
so
understanding there.
here he tells me, and we agreed, okay, is it an emergency? I got to do this. Is this on a scale of 1 to 10? Or can
Or is this one I can put on the list as yeah?
yeah.
Is this a
No.
Yeah,
I said
yeah, yeah.
I said
And so that's how we came to the agreement, because I was raised like that. My dad did spoil me. Yes, I was a daddy's girl and still a daddy's girl. And so when I said something, he would come running. And so, yeah, my husband said, I'm not your father.
Yeah, that story real quick.
But just let me know if it's a 10, I you know, or is it an 8 or a 7? And so that way I know how to place it on the priority list. And so we
Wow,
made
you
that
went over.
agreement, though. We made that agreement, and it works.
It works. Yeah.
Okay. If he says anything about a 10 or 9 tomorrow, I'm calling you.
I had that on my checklist.
Ours is not spoken like that, but you know, if I'm learning to say baby, or I've learned to say, baby, could you do this right now, or now if you have time to do it, versus,
Yeah.
well, I told you 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, why did that?
Right. Wind it down when it's a problem. Right. We're laughing now because watch this. Some of the stuff you had to get over in the beginning.
That's right.
When you look back, go, we argued over dishes? I mean, really?
Yeah.
Another thing too, that when we first, my first wife and I mean, we were very combative. You know, I didn't know what was going one minute to
Was
the
gonna
next.
pop off, right.
So we was always at each other, and you know, and so when I met her and stuff, sometimes my voice gets a little elevated, and she was like, "Oh no." I don't know what you was relationship you was in the last with, but you better tone your voice down.
Bring it down
Bring
a
it
notch.
down. And she wasn't used to that, but my family's loud. You know when we get sitting around, but everybody's you know, it's boy she.
And yes, I
See
said,
that look on her face.
I said, oh, we can't communicate. I can't even hear you talking to me real loud. but and that's the truth. And it sounded small, but it meant something big to me because I wasn't used to a lot of yelling or hollering or a loud pitch. I was like,
Watch this. So what we're still talking about is how we can make this marriage work. We're meshing things together. My
Yes.
husband, I was playing with him one time and grabbed his hat and looked like I was balling it up. Baby, it was a baseball cap. Had you seen the look on this brother's face?
oh my goodness.
Not watch this. Here we go. Here we go.
Mm.
Here we go.
Understand.
Man, it is
Here we go. People, listen to
You gotta
this.
Understand. See, it was less about the cap. Now, mind you, it was a brand new FUBU. You know, that was the thing back in the
Right.
day. You
Okay.
gotta understand that, but it was less about the hat than what the appearance was of a sign of complete disrespect and disregard for someone else's property. That's what it appeared to be.
It was a hat, people. And whenever he gets through, it was. Watch this. And I turned it around. I said, I didn't even ball it up.
Whether it was a hat, a pencil, or a car, it's still the principle still follows.
It still flows. So you know what? We're laughing now, but here's some serious stuff because hopefully you can take what we've been through and apply it. Maybe we just need to listen to each other. Maybe I am bringing some stuff from my past relationship into this one, and I'm treating that person like I treated the other one. These are two different people. I don't care if we're both females. We're still two different people.
That's
and so
true.
we have to treat each other respectively the way this person is, not that last person. And then we also discussed being able to talk to each other and communicate. We're laughing because some of it is funny now that we've been married for a while, but in the beginning, oh no,
wasn't
honey,
funny. It
you
wasn't
thought
funny.
the house was gonna catch on fire or something. But watch this. We learn to talk and work it out. So for my brothers out there, my men out there who don't want to listen, you don't want a happy home. Watch this, because you got to listen to her, and watch this, you got to listen to him. So at the end of the day, we got to talk, not talk at each other, because I can talk right past you and think I'm talking to you. People hear things a certain way. She didn't like high voices and loud noise. He bringing in, she like, oh no, we can't do this. you know, my husband was out. He was quiet. I would say, baby, what you think about? Nothing. What? Girl, wait a minute. I promise you, many a day. What you think about? Nothing. So I just went off one day. He looked at me like, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Actually, 19 times, what do you think about? You mean tell me you sitting there just blank little birds flying around in your head or something? No.
Sometimes it's me and
No, it's not. No. Don't take up for him. See this? See? No bonding. No
See.
bonding. No bonding.
But you know what? There were times in our marriage where I couldn't say anything but go to prayer. And because some things I couldn't tell my husband, I had to tell God. And he said, don't you open up your mouth. Get on your knees and pray. Because some things were still in me. They had nothing to do with him.
Then watch this, and that's the part we don't want to tell.
Right.
We always want to blame it on the spouse, and sometimes it's not them,
Them.
it's us. Watch this, that past relationship taught you to hear a certain way. You need to understand a certain way, because that's the way they brought it. And so now you got somebody who's talking totally different, and you think it's them, and it's really you. So we need to clean our own ears. But watch this, for the couples that are not married, not saved, or not in, Christian or whatever, we need you all to just stop. Sometimes you just got to sit and be still
Yes.
and get your thoughts together, because it's not always them trying to attack you. Maybe you're hearing wrong. Maybe it's actually you feeling a certain kind of way from a past relationship or something that happened in the course of your day. Or maybe you're just angry. Sometimes you just go, baby, we need to talk.
That's right.
Sit down and talk. Watch this. I say this to my husband maybe every so months or whenever it come across my mind. Baby, is there anything we need to talk about that I don't know we need to talk about?
That's
Sometimes
good.
we hold
That's
stuff
good.
in.
That's
Why
true.
we here now?
While we on the show,
You had, oh no, daddy, please. So watch this. Every now and then I do that, baby. Is there anything we need to talk about? Is there anything we need to discuss that I don't know? And I asked him earlier, I said, I've asked him before, is there any offenses? Or have I offended you? And maybe you didn't say nothing. I don't want you to hold it in. I'd rather you get it out and let's talk about it. We made a promise to ourselves when we got married. We would not go to bed angry.
And that's good.
That meant some long nights.
Y'all hear that?
I'm just telling the truth.
there you
Being
go.
a little
Yeah.
transparent right now because
Some
You know, in the beginning, especially more in the beginning
Beginning, yes.
than now, we are two people trying to be one, and there's going to be some things that we didn't agree on.
Yes.
You know, there's always something that you don't agree on. You have different minds when you're going into the situation. So it, you know, leads to discussion.
Yeah.
Hopefully, most of the time, it's not argumentative discussion, but discussion nonetheless, because you have to communicate. You have to know what the other person is thinking. And unfortunately, you know, I'm more traditional as a man, and I do tend to hold things in until, or let me say, in the past, I was, you know, I held things in a lot more than I do now, and it would lead to, well, why are you doing this, and why are you doing that, and then eventually, you know, there's, well, let me tell you.
I don't know who said that. That's not my notes. I don't know who said that.
But the positive to that is it builds a stronger relationship.
And it taught us how to talk and communicate. There's been watches. I've slammed doors. I've pouted. I've stomped up the stairs. Whew. You need prayer, don't you? Look, you need prayer.
And then too, I had to learn too. I had to check myself too. You know, I had to go to God. You know, hey God, is it me? Am I loud? Why am I? You know, why am I? You know, for real, you gotta
Right.
because it's both on both parts. You're trying to perfect both of us to come together and mesh together. So, as well as you know, I said, okay, maybe I am. You know, so I had to come to her and say, hey, you know, my first relationship, my first marriage was a battlefield. You know, and that's the way I had to be. I mean, I always. You know, what she gonna do next? You know, it was on one of them things, you know, come in the house and what have you done, you know? You know, and so I was always, you know, and I had to go to God to help me to let things out and not hold things in to where I would bust out, you know, or lash out.
And we both went through deliverance.
Yeah.
Because we both had some soul ties in our life and still in our marriage that needed to be dissolved. But we had to find that out. That I wasn't angry at him. I was mad about somebody else. He wasn't angry at me. He think about somebody else. And so we went through that process of the soul ties being uprooted out of both of our life so that we can come together and be more one.
The first time I ever even knew anything about that, you know, all of the different, you know, I'm very promiscuous when I was young, you know, and all of those things, you know, latched on, you know, and stuff. And and it was, I tell you, it was something.
Watch this, because people really realize sex is not just sex.
No.
It's not about that feeling. You're actually creating something with that person, whether a child comes out of it or not.
That's right.
Watch this. There's some blood exchange. There's a whole lot
That's
that's going on right
Yes.
there. Right there. And so it's not just sex.
No.
Yeah.
And then you dealing with, that person might have been with multiple people, and then you got all of that, all them spirits and all them things attached. I tell you,
It's a lot. So watch it. We've argued, we've yelled, we've slammed doors. Okay, I argued and you yelled and slammed doors.
Tell the truth.
Right, tell the truth, Shane. Watch this. He's got mad at me. He's got mad at me too. Wouldn't talk to me for a week or so. Yeah, I'm telling. Wouldn't answer his phone all day. I was blowing it up. Watch this, blowing it up. Calling him. You need to call. Next message. I love you. Next message. He's like, I'm not going home with this crazy woman. I was like, Lord, deliver me now, because this is too much. This is too much. This is too much. But watch this. You got to learn how to strive together and work together.
Yes.
Sit down. It's not all your money. It's not all her money. It's our money. I don't care if she don't have a job, or it's our money.
That's right.
Come on. This is our home, not my house, because I had it bad. When I got mad, it was my house.
Ooh.
Come on now. When I got mad, it was my house.
Oh,
and
my.
you better not. Now, that's disrespectful. I wasn't even paying the rent. It was still my house.
Oh.
You ain't saying nothing.
Wasn't even paying
You know,
the
some
rent.
of us strong, too. And I meant what I said that day.
Ooh.
But watch this. We go through
Yeah.
things and emotions and watch this, and we need to get all that under control.
Yes.
I don't care if you don't have a relationship with God. I need you to get one with God. Watch this, because He'll help you smooth out these rough edges you're having in your marriage.
Yes.
You're not listening to each other. Again, ladies, you can't come home and yell about every single thing. You got to pick your arguments wisely.
Yes.
And, so, honey, I want to talk to you about this. Now, what I found out, and I want to see what you say about this. Believe it or not, I found out to have some good conversation. There was 2 places. One was around the food when we was talking and eating. And then the other one, when me and him had laying in the bed. We, maybe watching TV a little bit or getting ready to doze off. Baby, I was thinking about this, and this. And that nice, and that voice. You know what, right, baby? You're right. Some good conversation laying right there on the pillow.
Yes.
Pillow talking. It wasn't about no smooching. Just seriously pillow talk about, okay, baby, what bill we going to do? How we going to do this or whatever. Right there in the bed. Watch this. When we can get a life out of the way and just relax and say, baby, this is how I was feeling. He could have told me I burnt up the chicken. Like, baby, screw you burnt up the chicken up, but it's okay. I love you anyway. I didn't burn the chicken, but I'm just saying, there's some times when we can have some good conversation. The kids are in the bed. You know what? I'm going to throw this out there. You can tell me how you feel about it. Ladies, if you're a stay-at-home parent, stay-at-home mother, the last thing your husband want to come home and see the kids turn up the house and unruly.
That's true.
Am I right? You can't discipline the kids? What is this about? But watch this. Before y'all start writing and sending me messages, I'm old school. I still believe in yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and you don't get rewarded for everything, and especially for wrong stuff. But nowadays, we do. So we have to go back and start instilling the right principles and morals and values in our kids, because somewhere the message got lost. We started trying to pattern our children after the world, and the kids they get rewarded for being bad.
And that's why the world is the way it is now.
But watch this. It's in the church too. It's in the church too.
Yes.
The breakdown of the family, though. Family is the oldest institution.
There is.
Yeah, it's the oldest institution. God created family.
He created family, but watch this. If I take the man out of his spot, then the family is now distorted. That whole thing is off.
Yes.
It's disfigured.
That's why the world is the way it is.
The world is the way it is. Watch this. That's why the role reversal is not good.
That's true. It's not good.
Getting distorted.
It's getting distorted.
He
So
gave
is
us
mama the
order.
mama or is mama the daddy?
Now you got 2 mamas and 2
Oh! It's tight, but it's right. It's tight, but
that's what we're dealing with.
But watch this, and people don't think about the consequences that it deal with kids. They're seeing this.
Right.
They're
Think
seeing
it's
this.
okay.
They think it's okay. You can't watch this again. I said that the definition of marriage was between a man and a woman, not a man trying to be a woman, or vice versa. So watch this. We need to go back, and there's some things. So what we really seeing is people got some hurt issues that has
Yes.
never been resolved.
That's
never
true.
been resolved. Sometimes you can argue with your spouse, and he had nothing to do with that argument. It's
No.
dealing with you and what's on the inside of you.
That's
Talk to
right.
me, husband. Really? Did he just go blank? Did y'all see that? He ain't say nothing. Did you? This is what. So my husband's verbally abusive, and he still wants me to have sex with him. How do we work that out?
She's not talking about me.
No, I'm not. I don't care if you did see that little video I put on Facebook. I said, my husband beat me. Trust me, it was a joke. So how do we tell somebody? Because I come in contact with a lot of women. They send me messages. This is what's going on. They hit me on Facebook. I'm being abused, and how am I still supposed to make love to this person and surrender or submit when they're abusive?
I don't think you can. It's hard to
Because see, apologizing for my black eye
do. Yeah.
don't make that swelling go down.
We talking a whole different level there.
Yeah, but we talking about the battlefields of marriage, and this is happening. And watch this, what we don't hear in church is happening in the church.
Yeah, as I say, it's happening. just
It's
as much
happening
as
right
it
in the
should-
church,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because see, back in the day, they used to tell the woman to stay there.
They sure did.
And then I've known some women, I heard about women that have actually gotten killed because
Yes,
they stayed
stayed
there.
there.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to work that out with God, but I'm not going to tell anybody
No.
to stay
To
there while
stay
they
in
get beat on.
Right.
Verbal abuse is enough because it leaves scars in your mind. That
And
physical
your
might heal up, you think of, but that verbal abuse, him coming home and saying this to you. Watch this. What woman want to constantly hear she ain't no good, she a dog, and some other names?
No
what woman want to
woman.
hear that? And no man wants to hear it.
No. That's you're not creating a home. That's not a home.
It's a battlefield.
That's what I'm saying. So now we got to deal with
Yeah.
the battlefield part because it was all fun and everybody's laughing, woo, woo, woo. But here's the reality of it. People fight.
Yeah, for real.
They fight. They come home and fight. I knew about one guy. He would put powder in his wife's shoes to make sure she didn't go nowhere.
Oh.
Controlling. You kept in the house. You're a kept woman. You can't even come outside the house without him. Come on. It's going on. It's happening.
It's happening.
Because we got to deal with the ugly side of that because that's not right. You shouldn't try to control anybody because of your insecurities because that's what it really boils down to.
Yes.
People have insecurities. We had big issues in the trust area because of some past relationships I had. Did we not?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
We did.
With actually, and it was not pretty. It was not pretty at all. But I had to work that out in me. It was nothing that he did. Matter of fact, one time he told me, he said, "Baby, have I not been faithful to you? Have I done anything that make you think I cheat on you?" So he was literally speaking to that hurt exactly where it was, right? He was going directly to the point. You need to go deal with that because I wasn't the one that hurt you. Okay? So we have to bring out the ugly side because there's a brighter day. You know what I'm saying? With somebody that's abusive, they usually have issues within themselves, and it's not really you.
And that's what I was saying. That's on the man, the person that's doing the
Watch this,
abusing.
women. There's some women abusive too now.
Well, yeah,
Yes,
what I'm saying.
that's true.
Yeah, we were talking about a man though abusing.
Okay.
And so if he's not willing to confront what's going on with him, what can you do?
Well, you know what? I've heard it said, if I can't have you, nobody will.
Oh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
And so sometimes they snap.
Oh,
They-
yeah.
they-
And that's what I would be afraid of if I was a woman or even a woman being abusing a man, you know?
Yeah.
Actually reminds me of a story of a friend of mine. He wasn't married to this woman at the time, but they were in a deep relationship, and there was some consideration, some talk of it leading to marriage. And they were driving together one day, and something came up where she thought he was cheating on her, and he wasn't. But the thought had so messed with her mind that while he was driving, she physically attacked him.
Oh my goodness.
To the point that they almost lost control. They swerved into the oncoming
my
traffic, and he had
goodness.
to pull over and be so forceful with her to just hold her back that he bruised her. So, and I mean, the relationship didn't last past
That's
that.
that. Wow.
But unfortunately, he had to go home, take pictures, and file a police report before she did, because she did to try to make it seem like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was
Wow.
the attacker and try to get him to go to jail.
Wow.
But her past history was so messed up, and he didn't find it out until after this happened.
Wow.